A conspiracy theory. A conspiracy theory is when people have a theory that there is some secret plan behind something. For example, John F. Kennedy, the president, was assassinated, and there was a conspiracy that he was killed by the government, or people don't know for sure. There are all kinds of conspiracies or conspiracy theories. People say that 9/11 was a secret plot by the United States government. Or they say that the Queen of England is actually a lizard. Or they say that the Earth is flat and it's a global government is behind it. Maybe lizard people, maybe not. These are conspiracy theories. And however you may feel about them, I want to bring up an interesting theory that's been going around. And that is that one of the things behind the coronavirus pandemic is a conspiracy around 5G. Towers, 5G towers, being burned because people suspect that the 5G is somehow going to be controlling our brains. Now, I'm not a scientist, but frankly, I have read quite a bit about it, and it seems to be absolutely ridiculous. Now, personally, I think conspiracies are very interesting. They're funny, kind of cool to read about, flat earth, very funny. But ultimately, I think most of them come down to a psychology, a type of person who wants to see connections where there are no connections. The reason I think that conspiracy theories most of the time are not real is because I don't think that human beings are good enough, smart enough, trustworthy enough to be able to plan this giant secret action that involves thousands of people and have nobody release the information when they're a little bit drunk, right? Someone drinks too much red wine and they spill the secret. You blew it, the conspiracy. People are not perfect enough to do conspiracy theories, real ones, right? I think most conspiracy theories are mostly a type of person who sees connections where there are no connections, sees events and says, there must be something secret going on there. Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't question things and wonder and research and look into it. But the thing that scares me is when people take action without the evidence. People are now burning, apparently, it looks like, 5G towers because they assume that 5G is being created and put up to control our brains and keep us in some sort of mental brainwashed prison. Where is the evidence of this would be my question. So I have a quick news clip. We're going to look at the clip. It's just a press conference around this 5G stuff, and then we're going to talk about a couple of the words related to it. So let's take a look at the clip.
The story somehow got about that they play a role in the spread of the disease. That's just nonsense. Dangerous nonsense as well. And I'm hand over to Steve to say a little bit more about the vital importance of knocking down this rubbish. Yes.
So the 5G story is complete and utter rubbish. It's nonsense. It's the worst kind of fake news. The reality is that the mobile phone networks are absolutely critical to all of us, particularly in a time when we are asking people to stay at home and to not see relatives and friends. But in particular, those are also the phone networks that are used by our emergency services and our health workers. And I'm absolutely outraged, absolutely disgusted that people would be taking action against the very infrastructure that we need to respond to this health emergency. It is absolute and utter rubbish, and I can't condemn it in stronger terms than that.
So you saw there, this is a press conference with people in the UK who are talking about this vandalism against the 5G towers. And they're calling it absolute rubbish. Rubbish is junk, right? It's trash. People in the UK use rubbish more than we use rubbish in America. We usually say trash, we say garbage, right? So we would say, that's garbage. We use it in the same way. We say, that's garbage, right? People have this conspiracy theory in mind, and so apparently it's causing some vandalism. And that vandalism is maybe preventing the 5G network from being stable and preventing some communication, okay? Now, they seem to be reacting quite strongly against it, and I've even seen the people who believe the 5G stuff say, that's proof reacting strongly against it. That means that it's real. Okay, come on. Let's just read the science. Let's be open-minded. Let's not assume that this giant global conspiracy is true without evidence. And I haven't seen any evidence that it is, other than people saying, lizard people. But I think it's good to be open-minded and to consider conspiracy theories, and it's a good exercise to listen to them and then do research and either say, yeah, maybe, or say, this is ridiculous because of A, B, and C. That's my personal view on conspiracy theories. I don't hate that there are conspiracy theories. I think it's good that they exist, right? I think it's interesting that it reveals a certain type of personality type, and I think it's a good exercise to say, okay, well, let me do some research and tell you why I think you're crazy or absolutely wrong about this. And I think probably there are one or two that are conspiracy theory-like that are true. I'm sure that there are some conspiracies that are real, but that's just my personal viewpoint on this. All right, a couple of specific words here. Vital. Vital, you heard him say vital, means very important. If something is vital, it's crucial, it's extremely important. We need it. Often in an emergency, certain things are vital. That means if we don't have those things, bad things will happen. Ventilators are vital during this crisis. Okay. Now, knocking down could be used in different ways. Here, knocking down just means to swat it away, to push it away, and to say, nope, no, no, like that with your hand. Dismiss, kind of like dismiss, okay? Fake news. Fake news is a phrase that's commonly used now, but the problem is that it's used so much that everybody kind of uses it as a weapon for their own interest, right? This 5G stuff is fake news, and the 5G people say, oh, they're fake news, and everyone's saying everybody is fake news. So it seems to be causing some confusion. You hear this word thrown around a lot. Does it mean that the news is actually fake? Maybe sometimes, maybe sometimes not. Now it's to a point where it's not clear exactly what fake news is because everyone throws the phrase around so much, okay? Critical is similar. Something is critical, very important. In this case, the 5G networks or the hospital system, it is vital, very similar to vital. And then outrage or outraged. So if someone is outraged, that is their state or their condition. They're very upset, very angry. But if something is an outrage, then it's completely ridiculous. You can't believe that someone is saying it. You can't believe that someone is talking about it. This is an outrage. It's a common expression that people use when they think something is terrible, wrong, bad, whatever it may be. It's an outrage. I think it's probably used more often in the UK than in America, but Americans do use it. The last word is infrastructure. Now, infrastructure is the basic stuff that keeps society going, okay? It is the cell phone towers. It is the bridges. It is the roads. It is the sewers. It is the electricity. It is all of that stuff, the plumbing systems. All of that stuff is referred to as infrastructure. Now, infrastructure can be used in lots of different ways. You can use an infrastructure of something else, right? You could say, for example, a political infrastructure. All right, okay. But generally, when people just use the word infrastructure, they're probably talking about those basic things on which we all sort of live, those basic things that we use and need in order to live a modern lifestyle. Again, bridges, roads, cell phone towers, all that kind of stuff. That's infrastructure. Okay, so hopefully you at least found the video to be interesting. I think using short videos as a way to pull out some useful words is a good way to learn English. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And also check out my courses in the links in the description.